How do these lights know what to do? When to change colors, when to move, when to turn on and off? It's these three letters that control all of it. DMX. What is DMX? Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you asked. DMX stands for Digital Multiplex, and it is what controls light fixtures and fun other lighting tools like fog machines, hazers, strobes, all that stuff. DMX is a unidirectional signal, which means it flows in one direction only, and it starts at the board or controller and then goes to the first light and is daisy-chained all the way to the last light. With this, you do need a terminator from my understanding in order to prevent signal bounce back, which will basically make the lights flicker and kind of hallucinate and get confused because the signal's going in one direction and didn't know when to stop, so it might come back, so you might need a terminator. But going back for a second, DMX is the communication standard for lighting. It's basically the language that light fixtures speak and something that lighting designers are able to translate their thoughts and ideas and designs and plans into this language to get these lights to do what they want, how they want, when they want it. I think it's cool. DMX was invented to allow a single cable, not this one, this is a power cable, but a single cable to control all functions and aspects of the light. Because before there was DMX, you had to plug an individual cable to control the light straight from the light board, and then another cable to control the color, and another cable to control other fun little functions, and it was a cable mess. So DMX allows you to control all functions of one light at a time with one cable. Now there are specific DMX cables, and these are different from audio XLR cables. Audio cables only have 3 pins, while DMX cables have 5. Those 2 pins do make a difference, and I have seen some lighting techs use XLR in a pinch when they do not have any other DMX cables, and that is not recommended. You do not hear that from me, but it can cause issues if you don't have DMX cables, so you should just use DMX cables because that would make more sense. So with this one cable, really anything is possible. Not to be dramatic, because DMX is its own universe. Literally, that's what it's called. The DMX 512 is the standard protocol for lighting, and it includes 512 channels within the DMX universe. So the universe is kind of limited, don't tell scientists that, but it's limited to 512 channels. But you can have multiple universes. So if your show requires more than 512 channels, you can have multiple universes to have more channels to control more lights. So within the 512 channels, you are able to control each individual aspect of the light fixture. So you can control intensity, color, strobe, movement, anything else that the light might have attached to it, you are able to control that per channel. So channel 1 is only color, channel 2 is only brightness, channel 3 is only movement, so it's one channel for each function. So with that, each fixture needs its own unique DMX starting address. Now the addresses are basically just channel numbers, and it needs this in order to understand which channels it's going to take instructions from. Let's say you have your fixture in a 4-channel setting, it's only going to follow 4 channels. Let's say starting from 1, it's going to follow channel 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it. So whatever's happening on channel 10 is none of this fixture's business, it's only following these 4 channels. So the channel or groups of channels that control the lighting's parameters is called the DMX personality. And that's just so fun because each light has its own fun, special, unique personality, just like people. How fun! So as I mentioned before, I said 4-channel mode. Some lights and boards and other machines that are run on DMX are capable of having different modes. Let's say 4-channel mode, 7-channel mode, sound active mode. I don't know if you have those lights that, you know, dance and respond to sound and music, where it'll change colors or flash or whatever. But this is like that, but not within the dollar store budget. This is more advanced. Yeah, a little bit. Now that you've learned all the fun vocab words and know the basics of DMX, let's build a show. Kind of, sort of. It's more so for you to understand signal flow and see the visuals of DMX, because lighting is a very visual part of entertainment, who would have guessed? So let's draw it out. So let's start by adding a DMX controller or a light board basically. And next we'll add some lights. I'm just gonna add 3 lights, but you can add any lights, PARs, LECOs, LED bars, moving heads, fog machines, things like that. But for now we have these photorealistic lights. Next we're gonna add the DMX cable from the board to the first light daisy chain to the second light, and the second light daisy chain to the third light. And however many you have, it can daisy chain on. Then we gotta find the starting address for each one and find the channels that we'll be using as well. So let's say we're in 4-channel mode, so we use 1 through 4, 5 through 8, and 9 through 12. So the starting addresses are 1, 5, 9 for each of those lights. And for each light, we assign a function. So let's say the first one is brightness, the second one's color, the third is strobe, and the fourth is movement. And with these functions, we can add different values to each one. So the values range from 0 to 255, and we can customize it for each channel. So let's say for brightness, we want it at 200, color at 115, the strobe at 75, and the movement at 220. Now we add a terminator at the end to make sure that there is no signal bounce back because we don't want the lights flickering or having any other issues. So it will keep the signal from hitting the last light again and moving back through and stop any weird, funky problems that can be easily prevented with a terminator. So let's do a quick review to make sure we understand what's happening on the board right now. We start with the DMX signal flow, which is daisy chained to the end where there's a terminator to stop signal bounce back. Then we have the starting addresses for each light, which is 1, 5, and 9, and the lights are in 4-channel mode, meaning that there's only 4 channels it has to read from, which is 1 through 4, 5 through 8, and 9 through 12. So whatever's happening on channel 6 is none of the first one's business. Each channel controls a specific function, so the first is brightness, the second's color, third strobe, fourth movement, and each one has a specific value attached to it, which can change for each light. And that's about it for this visual. So there you go. Now you have a good understanding of the visuals of how DMX works and the signal flow, so you can actually kind of see it now. And when you go to a show, you can understand how they're sending stuff from the light board to the lights. It's pretty cool. But that was DMX 512. There are other protocols like ArtNet and streaming ACN or SACN, and those involve Ethernet, and I just did a lot of work explaining how DMX 512 works, so I think that we're gonna put that on the back burner, and we'll go over that a different time if you're interested. So yeah. But now that you have a good foundation and understanding of DMX, you are basically set to dig deeper into other stuff. So let me know what else you would like to learn about lights and comment what you want to learn and we'll dig deeper together. So I accidentally missed the first day of fractions in elementary school, learning how to do fractions because I was sick, and I didn't realize how big of a deal that was and how much it would take for me to be able to catch up in understanding how fractions work and how much that would set me back. So this is as if you didn't skip the fractions lesson in school. So good job. That was a perfect comparison, 10 out of 10, no notes, that made total sense. You got it. You got it. You understood. Don't act like you didn't. You understood. So now that we have the basics of DMX down, I'm gonna go play with my little par light and you have fun. Yay, lights!